The playground was empty. That's the first thing that punched through my chest, the silence where Lily's laughter should have been. The swings moved gently in the October breeze, chains creaking like they were mocking me, and the slide gleamed in the afternoon sun, completely abandoned. I'd only been gone 10 minutes. Maybe 15. I'd run home to grab her jacket, the purple one with the butterfly patches she'd insisted on wearing even though it was too warm. She'd been playing with 2 other kids from the neighborhood, their mothers sitting on the bench nearby, and I'd thought just a quick trip, she'll be fine, she's right there. But now the other kids were gone. The mothers were gone. And Lily was gone. Lily? My voice came out strangled, wrong. I spun in a circle, scanning the playground, the parking lot, the tree line beyond. Lily? Nothing. Just the wind and the distant sound of traffic and my heart slamming against my ribs so hard I thought they might crack. I ran to the bench where the mothers had been. Empty water bottles, a forgotten hair tie. I ran to the slide, checked underneath. Nothing. The bathroom building, locked. The picnic area, empty. Lily. I was screaming now, full-throated terror ripping through my vocal cords. Lily, baby, where are you? A jogger stopped on the path, concerned. Are you okay? My daughter, have you seen a little girl? 7 years old, brown curly hair, pink shirt with a unicorn. No, I'm sorry, I was already running, pulling out my phone, fingers shaking so badly I could barely dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? My daughter is missing. The words felt like swallowing glass. She's 7. I left her at Morrison Park for 10 minutes and now she's gone. Please, you have to. Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. What's your daughter's name? Lily. Lily Chen. She's 7 years old, about 4 feet tall, brown curly hair to her shoulders. She's wearing a pink shirt with a unicorn and blue denim shorts and pink sneakers with lights in them. How long has she been missing? I looked at my phone. 3:47 p.m. I'd left at 3:30. 17 minutes. Oh God, 17 minutes. Officers are being dispatched now. I need you to stay at the location. Don't leave the park. Can you do that? Yes. Yes. Please hurry. The next 20 minutes were the longest of my entire life. I searched every inch of that playground, called Lily's name until my throat was raw, stopped every person who walked by to ask if they'd seen her. A small crowd gathered, concerned parents, helpful strangers, but no one had seen anything. When the police arrived, 2 officers, a man and a woman, I nearly collapsed with relief and terror combined. Mrs. Chen? The female officer, her name tag read Martinez, approached me with careful professionalism. I'm Officer Martinez. This is Officer Hayes. Tell us exactly what happened. I explained everything, the words tumbling out in a panicked rush. They took notes, asked questions, radioed for more units. Within an hour, the park was swarming with police, search dogs, volunteers. They'd set up a command post at the parking lot. An Amber Alert was being prepared. I sat on the bench where I'd last seen her, my phone clutched in both hands, and that's when it buzzed. Mom. For one wild, impossible second, I thought maybe she'd seen the news, maybe she was calling to help, to offer support, to say I'm coming, I'm on my way. But it was a text. Did you pick up Amber's dry cleaning? The gala is tonight and she needs that dress. I stared at the screen, the words not making sense. I read them again. And again. My fingers were numb as I typed back, Mom, I can't. Lily is missing. The police are here. She's been gone for over an hour. The response came immediately. Missing? What do you mean missing? Did you check the playground equipment? Yes. I've checked everywhere. They're organizing a search party. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Well, the dry cleaning closes at 6. If you can't get it, call Amber and let her know. She's going to be very upset. I read that message 5 times, my brain refusing to process it. My daughter was missing. Possibly taken. Possibly hurt. Possibly, I couldn't even let my mind go there. And my mother wanted me to worry about dry cleaning. My hand started shaking so violently I nearly dropped the phone. I looked up at Officer Martinez, who was coordinating with the search teams, her radio crackling with updates and coordinates. Dry cleaning. Another text. This time from my sister, Amber. Mom said Lily wandered off. Kids do that. But seriously, I need that dress tonight. It's a $500 plate dinner and I can't show up in something wrinkled. Can you please just swing by on your way home? On my way home. As if I was just running errands. As if my 7-year-old daughter wasn't missing. I couldn't respond. I physically couldn't make my fingers type words. Officer Hayes approached me, his expression grave. Mrs. Chen, we've expanded the search to a 2-mile radius. We have K-9 units coming in. Is there anywhere Lily might go? A friend's house? A favorite spot? No, she doesn't wander off. She knows the rules. She wouldn't just leave. My voice cracked. Someone took her. Someone must have taken her. He nodded, not confirming or denying. We're checking security cameras from nearby businesses. The volunteer coordinator wants to know if you have a recent photo we can distribute. I pulled up my phone, hands trembling, and showed him the picture I'd taken that morning, Lily grinning at the breakfast table, syrup on her chin, her stuffed rabbit Mr. Hoppy tucked under her arm. She'd been so happy this morning. We'd made pancakes together. She'd told me about the drawing she was working on at school, a family portrait with me and her and our cat Luna, all of us holding hands under a rainbow. She's beautiful, Officer Hayes said softly. We're going to find her. But his eyes told a different story. Every hour that passed, the statistics got worse. I knew that. Everyone knew that. My phone buzzed again. Dad, this time. Your mother tells me you're causing drama again. Amber's gala is important for her career. Stop being selfish and pick up the dress. I felt something inside me crack. Selfish. My 7-year-old was missing, and I was being called selfish for not prioritizing my sister's dress. I stood up, walked away from the command post, and called my mother. She answered on the 3rd ring, her voice clipped and irritated. What? Mom, Lily is missing. My voice was shaking. The police have searched dogs. They're preparing an Amber Alert. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course I understand. But honestly, Rose, you're always so paranoid. She probably just wandered over to a friend's yard or something. You baby her too much. She's 7. She's been missing for almost 3 hours. She could be, I couldn't say it. Couldn't let the words exist in the air. She's fine. You're overreacting. You always do this, create problems where there aren't any. Now, about the dry cleaning. I'm not getting the fucking dry cleaning. I screamed, and several volunteers turned to look at me. I lowered my voice, but it shook with rage. My daughter is missing. Do you hear me? Missing. Don't you dare use that language with me, Mom snapped. I raised you better than that. And frankly, if you'd been watching her properly instead of running around doing whatever you were doing, this wouldn't have happened. The accusation hit me like a physical blow. I went home to get her jacket. I was gone for 10 minutes. Exactly. You left a 7-year-old unsupervised. That's neglectful, Rose. What did you expect to happen? I couldn't breathe. The world tilted sideways, the trees and police cars and search volunteers all blurring together. I have to go, I whispered. Wait, about Amber's dress. I hung up. Officer Martinez appeared at my side. Mrs. Chen? Are you all right? No. The word came out as a sob. No, I'm not all right. She guided me back to the bench, sat down beside me. Family? She asked gently, nodding at my phone. I nodded, unable to speak. Sometimes the people who should support us the most are the ones who fail us the hardest, she said quietly. But right now, you need to focus on Lily. Everything else is noise. I looked at her, this stranger who understood more in 5 seconds than my own mother had in 32 years. Thank you, I whispered. She squeezed my shoulder and stood up as her radio crackled. Martinez here. I watched her walk away, back to coordinating the search, back to trying to find my baby girl, and I felt the full weight of my isolation crash down on me. I was alone in this. Completely alone. I turned off my phone. The search continued as the sun began to set, painting the sky in oranges and purples that felt obscene in their beauty. How could the world be beautiful when my daughter was missing? 4 hours. Then 5. They brought in floodlights. The K-9 units picked up a scent trail leading into the woods beyond the park. My heart stopped. We're going in, Officer Hayes told me. We need you to stay here in case she comes back. I want to come with you. Ma'am, it's better if. She's my daughter. My voice broke. Please. He looked at Officer Martinez, who nodded. Stay close to me, she said. And if we tell you to stop, you stop. Understood? I followed them into the woods, flashlights cutting through the growing darkness. The search dogs pulled forward, their handlers calling out coordinates. Volunteers spread out in a line, calling Lily's name. And then, in the distance, I heard something. Crying. Lily? I screamed, breaking away from Officer Martinez and running toward the sound. Lily, baby, is that you? Mama. Her voice. Her voice. Oh God, her voice. I crashed through the underbrush, branches tearing at my clothes. And then I saw her, curled up against a tree, covered in dirt and leaves, her face streaked with tears, but alive. Alive. Lily. I dropped to my knees and grabbed her, pulling her into my arms so tight she squeaked. Oh my God, you're okay, you're okay. She was sobbing, clinging to me, her small body shaking. I'm sorry, Mama, I'm so sorry. Shoo. It's okay, you're safe now, I've got you. The police and volunteers surrounded us, radios crackling with updates. Found. Safe. Unharmed. Officer Martinez knelt beside us, her flashlight illuminating Lily's tear-stained face. Lily, sweetie, are you hurt anywhere? Lily shook her head, still clinging to me. Can you tell us what happened? Why did you leave the playground? Lily looked up at me, her brown eyes huge and frightened. I wanted to find the fairy house. The fairy house? I asked, confused. The one we read about in my book. Where the fairies live in the forest. I thought if I found it and made a wish, maybe. She trailed off, looking down. Maybe what, honey? Officer Martinez asked gently. Maybe Grandma would love me, Lily whispered. The words hit me like a bullet to the chest. What? I breathed. She never wants to see me, Lily said, her voice so small it broke my heart into pieces. She only wants to see Aunt Amber and Uncle Derek's kids. She says I'm too loud and I ask too many questions and I'm annoying. So I thought if I found a fairy and made a wish, maybe she'd think I was special. I couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. I just held my daughter while she cried, while she told me truths I'd been too blind or too desperate to see. My mother had made my 7-year-old daughter feel so unloved, so unwanted, that she'd run into the woods looking for magic to fix it. Officer Martinez's face was tight with controlled anger. Mrs. Chen, we need to get Lily checked out by paramedics. But after that, I think we need to have a longer conversation. I nodded, unable to form words. They led us out of the woods, Lily in my arms refusing to let go. The paramedics checked her over, dehydrated, scratched, terrified, but physically okay. They wrapped her in a blanket and gave her water. I sat in the back of the ambulance with her, holding her hand, and that's when I turned my phone back on. 47 messages. Missed calls. Voicemails. Not one from my mother asking if Lily was okay. Not one from my sister expressing concern. Not one from my father saying he was sorry. Just message after message about the dry cleaning. About how I'd embarrassed them. About how I was always so dramatic. About how I'd ruined Amber's evening. I looked at my daughter, wrapped in an emergency blanket, still shaking, still crying softly, and something inside me turned to steel. "Lily," I said gently. "You are special. You are so, so special. And Grandma is wrong." She looked up at me with those heartbreaking eyes. But she said. I don't care what she said. She's wrong. And she's never going to make you feel this way again. Because I was done. Done trying to earn their love. Done sacrificing my daughter's emotional well-being for their approval. Done pretending we were a family when all they'd ever seen me as was a free service provider. Officer Martinez approached. "Mrs. Chen, we'll need you to come to the station to file a report. It's standard procedure." But first, she glanced at my phone, still glowing with unread messages. "Maybe you should call your family and let them know Lily's been found." I looked at the phone. Then at Lily. Then back at the phone. "No," I said quietly. "I don't think I will." Officer Martinez raised an eyebrow but said nothing. Because they didn't deserve to know. They didn't deserve my daughter's story, her pain, her terror. They'd made their priorities clear. Dry cleaning mattered more than my daughter's life. And that told me everything I needed to know. We got home around 10 p.m., 6.5 hours after Lily had disappeared. The house felt different somehow, smaller, less safe. I ran her a bath and sat on the bathroom floor while she played with her bath toys, refusing to let me out of her sight. "Mama?" she asked, her voice still shaky. "Are you mad at me?" "What?" "No, baby. Never." "Why would you think that?" "Because I ran away. Because I scared you." I moved to kneel beside the tub, taking her small, wet hand in mine. "Lily, listen to me. I'm not mad at you. I was terrified, yes. But I'm not mad. What happened today wasn't your fault. Grandma says I'm always causing trouble." The rage that flooded through me was white-hot and consuming. "When did she say that?" Lily looked down at the bubbles. "Last time we visited. I asked if she wanted to see my drawing and she said I was always interrupting grown-up conversations and causing trouble and maybe I should learn to be quieter like Aunt Amber's kids." My hands were shaking. "What else has she said to you?" "That I'm too needy. That I ask too many questions. That she doesn't have time for me because she's busy with the important grandchildren." Lily's voice got smaller. "Am I not important, Mama?" I pulled her out of the bath, wrapped her in a towel, and held her so tight. "You are the most important person in the world. You are everything. And Grandma is wrong. Do you hear me? She's wrong." Lily nodded against my shoulder, but I could feel how deeply the words had cut. How long she'd been carrying this weight. After I tucked her into bed, with every light in the room on because she was too scared of the dark now, I sat in my living room and finally, let myself fall apart. I cried for my daughter. I cried for the little girl I'd been, always trying to earn love that would never come. I cried for all the years I'd wasted thinking if I just tried harder, did more, sacrificed more, they'd finally see me. But they never would. And worse, they were poisoning my daughter with the same toxicity. My phone sat on the coffee table, still buzzing occasionally with new messages. I picked it up and scrolled through them. "Amber, I had to wear a different dress because of you. Everyone asked why I looked so unprepared. Thanks a lot." I hung up. The phone immediately rang again. "Dad." I declined it. Then Amber. Declined. Then Mom again. I turned the phone off. Lily appeared in the doorway, Mr. Hoppy clutched to her chest. Mama? I heard you yelling. I opened my arms and she ran into them. I'm sorry, baby. Did I scare you? No. She looked up at me. Were you talking to Grandma? Yes. Are you mad at her? I thought about how to answer that. How to explain to a 7-year-old that sometimes the people who should love you most are incapable of it. I'm not mad, I said slowly. I'm sad. Sad that she doesn't understand how special you are. But you know what? That's her problem, not yours. You are perfect exactly as you are. Really? Really. And from now on, we're only going to spend time with people who make us feel good. Who make us feel loved. Okay? She nodded, then asked in a small voice, does that mean we don't have to visit Grandma anymore? The fact that she sounded relieved broke my heart. Not if you don't want to. I don't want to, she whispered. She makes my tummy feel bad. Then we won't. It's just you and me, kiddo. We're a team. She smiled for the first time since I'd found her in the woods. You and me and Mr. Hoppy. You and me and Mr. Hoppy, I agreed. We slept in my bed that night, Lily curled against me, my arm around her. Every time she stirred, I woke up, making sure she was still there. Still safe. Still mine. The next morning, I turned my phone on to 23 new messages and 14 missed calls. I didn't read any of them. Instead, I blocked all 3 numbers, Mom, Dad, Amber. Then I called my boss and took a week off. Lily needed me. I needed Lily. Nothing else mattered. We spent the week together, just the 2 of us. We went to the zoo. Made cookies. Built a blanket fort in the living room. Read stories. Drew pictures. I watched Lily slowly come back to herself, the sparkle returning to her eyes, the giggle coming back to her laugh. On Thursday, there was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole and saw my mother standing there, her face pinched with indignation. I didn't open the door. Rose. I know you're in there, she called. Open this door right now. We need to talk about your behavior. I turned around and walked back to the living room where Lily was coloring, carefully not reacting even though my heart was pounding. Rose. This is ridiculous. You can't just cut off your family. But I could. And I was. After 10 minutes of knocking and calling, she finally left. I peeked out the window and watched her car drive away, and I felt nothing but relief. Was that Grandma? Lily asked, not looking up from her coloring. Yes. Did you let her in? No. Lily nodded, satisfied, and went back to coloring. That Saturday, Officer Martinez called. Mrs. Chen? I wanted to check in and see how Lily's doing. She's doing better, I said. Thank you for asking. Good. I'm glad. She hesitated. I also wanted to let you know, what Lily said in the woods, about her grandmother, we're mandated reporters. But given the circumstances, and the fact that you've clearly taken steps to protect her, I noted in my report that the situation has been resolved through family separation. I just wanted you to know it's on record. I closed my eyes, grateful. Thank you. Take care of yourself, Mrs. Chen. And that little girl. She's lucky to have you. After we hung up, I thought about that word. Lucky. Was Lily lucky? She had a mother who loved her fiercely. But she also had a family who'd made her feel worthless. She'd gotten lost in the woods because she thought she needed magic to be loved. But maybe we were lucky. Lucky that we'd found out now, while she was still young, that we couldn't rely on them. Lucky that I'd finally opened my eyes. Lucky that we had each other. On Monday, I got an email. From my mother's lawyer. My stomach dropped as I opened it. Dear Ms. Chen. I represent your mother, Patricia Winters. She has asked me to inform you that your recent behavior, specifically, your refusal to provide reasonable assistance to your family and your unwarranted accusations, has caused significant emotional distress. Mrs. Winters is prepared to seek grandparents' rights to maintain a relationship with her granddaughter, Lily Chen, unless you are willing to meet and discuss this matter reasonably. I read it 3 times, my hands shaking with rage. She was threatening to sue me for custody. After everything. After her neglect had sent Lily running into the woods. After she'd prioritized dry cleaning over a missing child. She wanted access to Lily so she could continue to poison her. I called my own lawyer, the one who'd handled my divorce 3 years ago. Rose, Janet answered warmly. It's been a while. What's going on? I explained everything. The dry cleaning texts. The search. What Lily had said. The lawyer's letter. When I finished, Janet was quiet for a moment. Okay. First of all, grandparents' rights in our state are very limited, especially when the parent is fit and capable. Which you clearly are. Second, document everything. Every text, every voicemail, every interaction. And third, she paused. Given what Lily told the police about why she ran away, you have a very strong case that contact with your mother is harmful to your daughter's emotional well-being. So she can't force me to let her see Lily? She can try. But she won't win. Not with the police report documenting what Lily said. Trust me on this. Relief flooded through me. Thank you. But Rose? This is going to get ugly. Are you prepared for that? I looked at Lily, playing in the living room with Mr. Hoppy, safe and happy and home. Yes, I said. I am. Janet sent a response to my mother's lawyer that was professional but firm, no contact unless ordered by a court. Any harassment would be documented and used as evidence of continued harmful behavior. Access to Lily would not be granted given documented evidence of emotional harm. The response was immediate, a voicemail from my mother, screaming about betrayal and lies and how I'd turned her own granddaughter against her. I saved it. Documented it. Added it to the file. Then I deleted it and went back to making lunch for Lily. That night, as I tucked Lily into bed, she asked, Mama? Are we going to be okay? Yes, baby. We're going to be more than okay. Even without Grandma? Especially without Grandma. She thought about that, then nodded. Good. Because I like it better this way. Just us. Just us, I agreed, kissing her forehead. As I turned off the light, Lily said sleepily, Mama? You know what? What, sweetie? I don't need a fairy wish anymore. I already have everything I need. I stood in the doorway, tears streaming down my face, and realized something profound. We'd both been set free. Free from the constant weight of disappointing people who would never be satisfied. Free from twisting ourselves into smaller, quieter, more convenient versions of ourselves. Free from the toxic belief that love had to be earned through sacrifice and service. My daughter would grow up knowing she was enough exactly as she was. She'd never have to run into the woods looking for magic to make her worthy. And I would never again measure my worth by their approval. 3 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. From my mother's lawyer, withdrawing the threat of legal action. Apparently, Janet had sent them the police report, the text messages, and a detailed timeline of events. They'd decided they didn't want that aired in court. I threw the letter away without a second thought. Because they didn't matter anymore. Only Lily mattered. Only our peace mattered. Only this life we were building, small, quiet, and ours, mattered. That Sunday, instead of driving to my parents' house like we'd done every Sunday for 7 years, we went to the farmer's market. We bought fresh flowers and strawberries. We ate ice cream in the park, the same park where I'd lost her and found her and finally woken up. Lily ran ahead, her laughter floating back to me on the autumn breeze, and I watched her play without fear, without anxiety, without the weight of someone else's disappointment on her small shoulders. She was free. We both were. And that was worth every burned bridge, every angry voicemail, every accusation of selfishness. Because I'd chosen my daughter. I'd chosen our peace. I'd chosen love over obligation. And I'd do it again 1,000 times over. As Lily ran back to me, her face flushed with joy, Mr. Hoppy tucked under her arm, I caught her in my arms and spun her around. I love you, Mama, she said. I love you more, I replied. Impossible, she giggled. But it wasn't impossible. It was simple. Pure. Uncomplicated. It was the kind of love that didn't need to be earned or proven or justified. It just was. And that was enough. That was everything.